Cat clips about that.
Tally-ho!
His tally-ho became a rally cry.
PBS Kids helps my students learn more about the world around them.
Tally-ho, butterfly! We did it! Yay!
You're watching New England Public Media on WGBY Springfield.
Los espárragos, las cervezas, las bandas. Es el regreso del Festival del Espárrago de NEPM, marcando el comienzo del verano. Acompaña a Curious George y Nature Cat de PBS Kids en el evento comunitario de la temporada. Visita a los agricultores y artesanos locales, baila al ritmo de la música en vivo de las bandas de Signature Sounds y prueba docenas de opciones de comida local y cervezas artesanales. El Festival del Espárrago de NEPM, sábado 4 de junio en el Hadley Town Common. Detalles en nepm.org, Asparagus.
Coming up, we're connecting you with the creativity and culture in your community, including a class where you can build the instrument of your dreams.
People are almost in tears when they finish their guitars here and hear those first chords from them, so it's pretty gratifying experience.
Springfield middle schoolers bring Shakespeare to life.
After 2 years of struggling, they are playing and learning in a room, live and in person.
And we check in on an effort to beautify the heart of the Berkshires.
It takes a village to do something, and so having all these different organizations out here in downtown to get this done is awesome.
Join us for those stories and more as we explore the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. Up next on Connecting Point.
Support for Connecting Point is provided by our contributing viewers.
Welcome, and thanks for joining us for Connecting Point, your source for creativity, culture, and community. I'm Saidalis Bauer. Each week this summer, we're exploring all that Western New England has to offer. And today, we're coming to you from Mitnique Park in the Hampden County town of West Springfield. This 300-plus acre park is home to a museum, a greenhouse, a disc golf course, hiking trails, ball fields, and more. It's the perfect place for families to while away the summertime. But where West Springfield lies close to the Connecticut border, our first story today takes us to the uppermost corner of Massachusetts. Nick Lenski has been passionate about making guitars for most of his life, often out of local wood sourced from the forest surrounding his Berkshire's home. But a few years back, Nick decided to turn his pastime into a career by teaching others how to make the instrument of their dreams. And after a week-long course with Nick at Berkshire Stringed Instruments, each student has a finished, handcrafted guitar that they made themselves. Executive producer Tony Dunn stopped by North Adams for a lesson in musical woodworking.
I always, loved the forest, the woods. During my younger years, I was a contractor for a while, and me and my wife started to have a family, and so I was looking for a little bit more of a career. I tried a few different things, and wasn't really, truly satisfied with what I was doing. And it was actually my wife's idea for me to build guitars. I was just doing it on the weekends or at night in my home shop. I had a few people who who said they'd be interested in making one, so I said, well, why don't I offer a course? This is when I met up with Steve, who, is my mentor.
I just saw it as a golden opportunity to have him here, and we could collaborate and learn from each other. And
so that's what I did, and it just seems to just keep gaining more and more momentum.
Find the middle there, shouldn't be.
It's a 10-day course, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 every day. And basically, students come, they can hand build their own custom instrument, whether it's a guitar, nylon or steel, mandolin or ukulele.
I've always wanted a hand-built guitar, would never be able to afford one, but this worked out beautifully. So I get my guitar and I get to learn how to do it, and I'm going to try to build some of my own.
it's so much more personal if they spend that much time with their guitar. The issue of, you know, going into a store and handing somebody your credit card as opposed to actually being involved in the process is a pretty big deal.
Everything's fully customized. You're going to hand carve your own neck. You're going to make your own bridge, carve your own bone, saddle and nut. You're going to do all your own inlaying. It's something they've designed. It's it's ideally what they want. Okay, so I'm going to go in kind of a round motion.
Yeah. The beauty of this course is I'm seeing how it's built and being able to do it myself with a teacher who is really patient and shows you exactly how and why things are working together.
And hopefully through that, they're going to end up with an instrument that actually does what they want it to do.
Each wood possesses its own tone, and by pairing different top woods with different back and side woods, where I make the entire guitar out of locally sourced woods that I harvest myself, and the majority of the instruments, each part comes from a different town here in Berkshire County, which is a really great thing to do. Basically anybody can do it. I've had people who've been woodworking for over 30 years, and I have some college students who've never even ran a hand drill before.
Between the nut and the first fret center?
Yep.
And I'm just looking forward to be able to sit down and build this, and people go, oh, that's a nice guitar, where'd you get that? And I'm going to be able to say, well, I built it.
I guess the best part of the build is when you're done with it and you hit that first note, and it comes out exactly as you hoped it would.
People are almost in tears when they finish their guitars here and hear those first chords from them. So it's pretty gratifying experience to go and build a guitar with Nick.
I'm really looking forward to hitting the first couple notes on this thing and listening to it and see it and hear how it goes together. I'm kind of chomping at the bit a little bit here.
I think it's the personal connection, quite frankly, and the fact that they know that I'm handling every piece of wood.
People are just thrilled with the fact that they've accomplished this. They start out with a pile of wood in front of them, and by the 10th day, they have a beautiful musical instrument that they've handcrafted and they can play.
Every week, Connecting Point explores the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. But it doesn't stop there. You can find us online anytime for exclusive features and content. If you already have a guitar and need it serviced in the Berkshires, then look no further than the Music Repair Shop, where craftsmen tackle the instrument from 2 different angles. In this week's digital exclusive, Connecting Point's Brian Sullivan takes us to Dalton, Massachusetts for some 6-string bliss.
There aren't as many instrument repair people as there used to be, perhaps. We have people coming in that have all sorts of different needs with their guitars, from beginners that don't know how to restring them, all the way through replacing pickups, hot rodding guitars, making them a better playing guitar for the specific needs of a local musician.
You can find that digital exclusive online right now at nepm.org/connectingpoint. For years, middle school scholars at the Academy Hill School in Springfield have put on a live Shakespeare production annually. Unfortunately, the stage lights went dark for the past 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But this year, courtesy of a Mass Cultural Council grant, Shakespeare and Company, a professional theater organization based in Lenox, Massachusetts, held a 3-day residency at the school to help students gear up for their rendition of The Tempest. I joined them for their first dress rehearsal since 2019.
Right now, we're in the midst of our Shakespeare unit, which feels like the lights are turned back on. The excitement that's permeating the whole building is contagious right now. The students in grades 6 through 8 have been working on their annual Shakespeare unit, which didn't happen for the last 2 years. So it feels like the return to normalcy is just right there, and we're ready to grab it.
And I mean, the lights are literally going to be on. The students will be the stars of the show. So tell me a little bit more about the play and how this opportunity came about.
We usually partner with the Massachusetts Cultural Council, the Mass Cultural Council, and our cultural partner is Shakespeare and Company, located out in Lenox. And Shakespeare and Company is one of the preeminent Shakespearean educational companies in the world, so they are full of trained actors and teachers who just have this amazing ability to bring Shakespeare into classrooms and other educational settings in ways that excite the students. So when we had the opportunity to write a grant through the Mass Cultural Council, we knew we wanted to continue to partner with Shakespeare and Company. And this unit begins with a 3-day residency. Shakespeare and Company sends us a handful of their actors and trainers who come to Academy Hill, and they introduce the language of theater and reintroduce the language of Shakespeare to the students. They play games. The students drop the inhibitions. They get comfortable with movement and stage, and then we move into full rehearsals.
Tell me about why you chose The Tempest. And then one thing I thought was really interesting that we were talking about was that this is going to be in Shakespeare language. So tell me about that as well.
Sure. Well, we have a cycle of plays that we choose from, Shakespeare's plays that we choose from, and it was on cycle to choose The Tempest. We had the right combination of students, but now that you mention it, I think the inadvertent symbolism of coming out of the storm, of the end of the play where Prospero drops his facade and his magic and goes back home, there's a symbolism there that almost resonates with the full circle of coming through the pandemic and returning home to where we began. We didn't choose it deliberately, but now that you raise that, there's something there to reflect on, I think, for sure.
So what has been some of the amazing moments you've witnessed during the residency and all the practice that the students have gone into?
The joy, and the kids are together again after 2 years of struggling. They are playing and learning in a room, live and in person. You see the fear start to break away, and you see themselves shining through. And that started with the residency, and it continued through the rehearsals.
This has really been a hands-on play. The students are involved in literally every aspect of the play, so tell me more about that as well.
Our students are our costumers. They are our prop handlers. They've worked on pieces of the set. We have a student who's working with sound. So yes, our students take on all the roles of a theatrical production, and that allows them to learn those pieces as well. It's terrific for students who are maybe not as comfortable coming on the stage and speaking in front of an audience to sit behind the scenes and still play such a critical role.
As for the rest of the fleet, they have all met again and are upon the Mediterranean, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king ship wrecked.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed, but there's more work.
Is there more toil? Let me remember thee what thou hast promised.
How now? What is't thou canst demand?
My liberty, I pray thee. Remember, I've done thee worthy service.
The middle school Shakespeare play is something that we look forward to, like, since you're in kindergarten. You witness it every single year, and it was always just something that we were like, oh, when's the Shakespeare play? It's coming up.
I also enjoyed the rehearsals of watching everyone grow into their character and seeing myself become someone who's different from me and who I normally wouldn't be.
I think it's very aspiring to be able to see, like, the older kids perform a production, and it seems like, wow, that's something that you're able to do.
Do I so? Take down that! I did not give a lie. Devil, take your finger!
I'm really going to miss just the experience of rehearsing and being part of just such a great production. And I've really enjoyed being able to act and to sing and to play the characters. And definitely working alongside the people that you spend a lot of time with, it gives you a new perspective of them, and it gives you just the chance to have so much fun and also to produce, like, such a great piece of artwork.
For the past 4 decades, the nonprofit membership association known as Downtown Pittsfield, Inc. has been partnering with local businesses and others in the city to not only promote economic growth, but to make the downtown area a place where people want to come to work. One of their most popular annual events is the Downtown Pittsfield Cleanup Day, and Connecting Point's Brian Sullivan visited the heart of the Berkshires to bring us the story.
Not every Friday the 13th is filled with doom and gloom. In fact, when the events of the day go off without a hitch, it's easy to forget that there's even a stigma attached to that date, as was the case in Pittsfield on Friday, May 13th, for the 25th annual Downtown Cleanup hosted by Downtown Pittsfield, Inc.
We had over 25 teams show up this year and over 200 participants who really made the job a lot easier. You know, one of the awards we give is a Dream Team Award for those individuals who are helping out smaller teams, because we had anywhere from 2 people on a team to 15, you know, and those extra hands actually make it a lot easier for us to be able to do things.
It was a volunteer effort, and the participants were easy to spot as they were scattered up and down North Street and its many side streets. But not taking any chances of not being noticed was the team representing the Dooley Leadership Experience in their bright orange shirts.
Just like we believe in the revitalization of professional development in the Berkshires, we believe in the revitalization of our downtown community. And as you can see, it has gone through some tough times. And by keeping it beautiful, starting with the streets and the experience that you have when you come and visit us, hopefully you'll come back and spend more time in the Berkshires. And by the way, we have a train that's going to be arriving soon in the Berkshires on Fridays from Manhattan. So if their first experience is seeing a downtown that's clean, positive impression.
The day is really all about teamwork, and for the Soldier On group, who've been helping homeless veterans find transitional and permanent housing since 1994, it was easy to apply their work philosophy to the task of the day.
As a part of our mission, it takes a village to do something, and so here in Berkshire County, I would say it's the same thing. We need to be able to come together no matter what the task is. So having all these different organizations out here in downtown to get this done is awesome.
While the groups may be coming in from all over the Berkshires, many of them have offices right here in downtown. So cleaning the place up helps give them a sense of pride for the place where they have to come to work. For the Berkshire Pride Group, there's that, and another pressing date just around the corner.
We are here because we care about Pittsfield, we care about the Berkshires, we care about the community as a whole, and we want the city to look pretty for our parade on June 4th.
Cleanup Day just happened to land on what felt like maybe the nicest day so far in the spring of 22. The group from Guardian Life, whose office is just up the road on South Street, possibly inspired by the nice weather, even let this guy take part in the activities.
That's not so bad. It's a couple hours on a Friday, push a broom, drag a rake, get some sun, and it's all for a good cause.
Hey man, get back to work.
The whole cleanup day ran from 1:30 in the afternoon until 3:30, and the day culminated outside the Marketplace Cafe, where there were sandwiches and refreshments. There were even prizes for the top 4 performing teams, whose work was being monitored by a panel of judges who visited each designated cleanup location. We spoke with one of those panelists who summed up what the whole day was really all about.
Doing anything together with other people is an amazing thing. People are excited to get back together. You know, so that alone in itself is amazing. But simply cleaning up the place that you live. I mean, I don't want to walk around a city that's dirty. I've been around those places. I know how those look. I don't want Pittsfield to be that way.
And for more on this story, you can go online as Downtown Pittsfield Inc.'s Managing Director, Rebecca Brian, discusses the challenges of staying relevant in the digital age, as well as the benefits to having a successful event like the Downtown Cleanup and a digital extra.
You know, they're not opening up a newspaper as much anymore. They're not reading their mail that they come in. And so it is really showing the people that are here, you know, with fun and exciting things, whether it be a downtown cleanup, whether it be a First Fridays art walk. Those are all things that are bringing people to downtowns nowadays, and you really have to put it out there in that social media network.
You can find that digital extra and so much more right now on our webpage at nepm.org/connectingpoint. Since 2018, Parent Villages has been on a mission to improve the quality of education for students and families throughout Western Massachusetts. Through monthly meetups, special programming, and community partnerships, the organization builds bridges between parents, students, and educators to ensure that their needs are met and exceeded. I spoke with Latonia Monroe-Naylor, co-founder and president and CEO of Parent Villages, to learn more about how the organization began and the resources that it offers.
I try not to cry when I tell the story, but when I was first involved in the school committee, I was sitting in a meeting and there was a report done. And one of the ladies talked about kindergarten readiness and preparedness, and she said 7% of our kids were ready for kindergarten. And I waited and waited and was really focused on that for the whole entire time she was doing her report. And at the end, I asked, did you say 7 or 70? And she said 7. And I said, so 93% of our kids are not ready for kindergarten. And she said, yeah. I couldn't wrap my mind around that and why that was the case. And so when I went back and talked to the other women that co-founded Parent Villages with me, Cindy Gaynor Harper, Paige Monroe, and Ayanna Crawford, I told them what happened, and I said, we have to do something about it. And we thought about all these ideas, and then I said, well, why don't we name it Parent Villages? And that's kind of where we started with going out, educating the community, and trying to do our best to make sure that we can bring resources to families that don't know how to access them or where to go.
So speaking of your name, Parent Villages, your motto is "It still takes a village." So what are some of the partnerships that you have in place that form your village, and what are the resources that they offer?
So Bay State Health is one of our larger partners. Springfield Works is another partner that we have. The Springfield Public Schools is always interacting with us and working alongside us. Statewide, we are involved in MEEP, which is the Mass Education for Equity Partnership, Strategies for Children. The list goes on. There's just so many different groups that we work with, depending on what the issue is, depending on what the concern is. The reality is that education isn't just about what happens in the classroom for our children. Education extends beyond that. And so we believe that in order to support our kids, we have to support the parents and those that care for them. So providing 2-generational programs and access to those opportunities are extremely important.
And that brings me to my next question, because I love that aspect of the program. It really supports the students, but the adults and the caregivers. Tell me about the impact that family engagement has on a child's education.
Family engagement is huge, right? If you find a school that's a level 1 school, a school that's succeeding, you're going to find a school that highly engages their family. Statistics prove it, they show it. One of our partners, the Davis Foundation, was very involved in Reading Success by 4th grade, and actually founded that. And so we worked alongside them as well, and still do continue to work alongside with them, trying to not only say, here, let's get a book in the hand of a child, but also let's encourage the parent to read to the child and understand why is that necessary, right? So that's a very clear example of why engagement with family is important. And again, not just in the classroom, outside of the classroom as well.
Well, and I know that I was reading on your website, which I thought was interesting. You encouraged parents showing up in the good times and the bad times. Why does that matter as well?
So, funny story. My daughter, one of my daughters, I have 4 children of my own, and they're all in the public schools here in the city. And one of my daughters was not doing well in school. And I said to her, if you have me come up to that school one more time, I'm going to have a t-shirt on with your name on it. And she didn't believe me. So she acted up one more time. And I went to the school and I had a shirt that said show up, and it had her name on it. And so that was the beginning of the hashtag show up initiative, was like, parents show up. But we also wanted to remind them, like, don't just show up when your child is acting up. Like, you got to show up to the games. You have to show up to the talent shows or whatever those things are. And sometimes the kids will say to you, it's no big deal, you don't have to come, but you got to show up anyways, because it really makes a difference for them to know that they have a team and they have their village that's always going to be there to look out for them.
Let's talk a little bit more about the students. I want to highlight a lot of the work that you guys do. So from workshops to scholarships, you have shown up for families and students in many ways. I know last year you were giving out free laptops to families. Yes. Your Education Matters programs gives out scholarships to many students. So tell me another moment of impact that has really stuck with you and reminded you of why you do the work that you do.
We had a student who came into our program, and he's on the spectrum. I'm not sure where, because I'm not a doctor, but he was on the spectrum, and his mother was very concerned about whether or not he'd be able to stay in the program. And he came in, and the first day it was kind of trying, because we were like, okay, we got to be patient with him. We want him to get to feel the surrounding. But I tell you, by the 3rd time he came in, he was talking to the young people. By the time we ended the program, he was just so outspoken. He was so well loved. The kids were talking to him. He was talking to the kids. He wasn't hiding in the background anymore. He was engaged. And his mother contacted me. She said, I didn't believe my son was going to last here, and because I was nervous. You know, he'd been in COVID for 2 years and isolated, but he did so well. Not only did he do well, he's excited to be here, and he wants to come back when you have this program again. And it's like, that was so awesome. And I seen him in the community, and he's like, "Hi, Mrs. Naylor," and I was just like, oh, this kid that wouldn't talk to anybody. And now he feels like he has a village, and he has friends that he made through the program. So that was one of our young people. And then for our adult village builder, we had a lady, beautiful, beautiful young lady. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry not to get emotional, but we had a lady, and she went through a lot. She had been in a domestic violence situation. She had a child, and she's trying to get herself together and do better. So she said to me, you know, I wasn't going to come back because, you know, I didn't know if I felt motivated to be here. She said, but something in me kept driving me to come every time. She said, and I'm so happy that I listened to that voice in me that kept saying, come back, come back. She's like, and now I'm a changed woman. Now I have a different mindset. I understand what I need to do, and I'm ready to do it. And I was just like, yay, that's what we want. That's what we want, you know? And so having those conversations and seeing the change and really connecting with people on a level that's authentic, it's powerful, it's invaluable. There's no amount of money that you can put on it to price that. It's nothing that I can say really can make me feel any happier than seeing that kind of transition for people.
And that does it for this edition of Connecting Point. Remember, you can always find all of the stories that you saw in this episode, as well as exclusive features, digital-only content, and so much more online anytime at nepm.org/connectingpoint. Our thanks to Mitnique Park and the town of West Springfield for hosting us today. And please be sure to join us again every week right here for more stories of the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. I'm Saidalis Bauer. Thanks for watching, and take care.
Support for Connecting Point is provided by our contributing viewers.
The NEPM Asparagus Festival is the best place for outdoor fun with friends.
It's a huge celebration with music, food, and plenty of stuff for kids.
Meet Curious George.
Dance to the music of Mr. G.
Climb a tractor.
Play the Valley Scramble game, and more.
The NEPM Asparagus Festival, Saturday, June 4th on the Hadleytown Common.
Learn more at nepm.org/asparagus.
Yay!
Great Performances goes backstage with Company, the vibrant comedy with a 21st century spin.
We're listening to Sondheim with a different ear.
Keeping Company with Sondheim on Great Performances.
Keeping Company with Sondheim, Friday at 9 on NEPM.
Hit play to be inspired.
We ain't got no other way to go but up.
To be informed.
This is New England Public Media News.
To explore.
Amazing.
And to meet your neighbors.
I spoke with Green to learn more about his creative process.
Hit play for New England Public Media.
Agwan.
Zoom.
All year long, high school students from all over the region have tested their knowledge on Western New England's award-winning high school quiz show. And now it's down to the final two.
Longmeadow.
The Old Man, the Sea.
Yes. Westfield.
Roar.
Roar, yes.
Next time on As Schools Match Wits, Longmeadow takes on Westfield. They'll battle it out for the championship and the coveted Collimore Cup. It's Longmeadow versus Westfield, Saturday at 7 p.m. on NEPM and streaming at nepm.org.
Here's what's new this month with Passport.
I know what you are.
You don't know anything about me.
In Zambia's Luangwa Valley, a future king was born.
Franklin is endlessly interesting.
He really was an American genius.
These and all your favorite shows are available with Passport on the PBS app. Download it today.
New England Public Media is sponsored in part by our contributing viewers and by
You're watching New England Public Media, WGBY Springfield.
This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. This is the opportunity to share my story.
To be here was a huge surprise. We want to fall in love with your recipes.
I am ready. I'm excited. I'm going to do it.
I'm so excited to be competing for one of my recipes to become a tradition for other people.
This is a dish that my dad taught me.
It's the flavors of home.
Welcome to the Great American Recipe.
The Great American Recipe premieres June 24th on NEP.